Ladies and gentlemen, fellow black, let me take this opportunity to address some of the fundamental questions which I had addressed in my earlier videos, but many people still have not got responses or answers to the questions. Today I will talk about the origin of the black man. I have seen a lot of videos in which people have contended that the black man are descendants or are related to the white people, pink people. I wish to repeat that if there is any kind of relationship, then it was through the woman, and you will understand. However, this is not to reinforce the point that they have imposed on us through their Bible, that we shared a lot. We are different. We are children of God. And they are the children of the devil. Now, our ancestors Arolo and Ojuki, when they got our texts in the African mystery system of the Grand Lodge of Lagza in Egypt, they corrupted them and called them Adam and Eve. Olo was the male, our grandfather, our progenitor, the first man created by God, in his own image. And Ojuki, which means the supporter or the helper, his wife. The Holy Spirit and we blacks, we are not religious but spiritualists. So the Spirit of the Lord, of Nyasaye Ogong'o Nyakalaga, which breathes in us and which we breathe, has told us that Nyasaye Ogong'o Nyakalaga created law from soil which is cooked in Obwongo, which we now call Abyssinia, and now called Ethiopia. At that particular time, God had descended on Diri, the seventh planet, or earth or world. Remember, I may not be precise in translation because what the white woman means could not be the same thing as what we mean. We talk about pain, and they talk about the world or the earth. Whichever the case, I must say that even in translation and transliteration, we may not be saying the same thing. We could only be trying to think that what they say could be what we mean, or that what we mean could be what they say, but they are not one and the same thing. So, Ruth Nyasaye Ogong'o Nyakalaga had created Diri, the seventh earth or world or planet, whichever they call it, but we call it pain. 6 others on which he had lived for 7,000 years with beings that he did not create, that he only said to exist and did exist, were Api, Tiko, Raili, Andi, Bakungu, Water. Those are 6, and then the 7th one is Diri. So when he created a pain or an earth or a world or whatever they call it, he moved from the old one to the new one with everything he had created. And so all the waters, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, the trees, the animals, he had made to exist by one. He always moved with them to the next. And that is what happened when he created Diri, the 7th one. So he moved with everything. Then while on Diri, he had a purpose. He had a purpose that Diri, or earth or world, but we know pain, Diri, he purposed it for man to live in. And so he had intended to establish everything he needed on Diri and then create man to be in charge of it. So he moved to the moon. After creating the moon, he moved with those heavenly beings, all the beings that he said to exist to the moon. And he left everything else he had said to exist and had existed on Diri. So while at the moon, he created heavens, and so he moved from the moon to the heavens. And as the white man says that the moon receives light that reflects from the sun, is not true. The sun and the moon are two independent things. So when he left the moon, he left his light, his glory on the moon, which shines during the night when the sun ceases to shine during the day. But it is not that the sun casts its light on the moon and the moon casts its light on the sun by way of reflection from the sun, on the earth by way of reflection from the earth. That is not true. So these beings, we are not the same. So when Nyasaye had created human being, Dhano, the black person, he created both of them at the same time. We do not concur with one of the creation stories in the Bible. That's why the Bible is inconsistent. It has two creation stories, and you may not know, now discern which one to believe in. And that is because they were copy-pasting and copying what they did not understand. Try to make a glorified story theirs, and to make us believe that we did not belong there, they did belong. That is the character of plagiarists. So, on the fifth day, Nyasaye Obongo Were Nyakalaga moved with the male of the two beings he had created to heaven. Then on the sixth day, he summoned an assembly of heaven and instructed everybody to come. Then he told them that you see this being that I have come with that exactly typically looks like me. I want you to worship him, and I have given him all my powers, including that of creation. And henceforth you shall draw your names from this being. So the heavenly beings, there was a rebellion, and their leader, Obel means that who has rebelled, that who does not want to toe the line, rejected, and among his followers were 6 others, 2 other males and 4 females. So Ruth Nyasaye Obongo Were Nyakalaga breathed his breath of life into this being that he had created. And so the male being breathed. And as the male being breathed, the female being he had left down at the place he created them in a cave, in a pyramid, also breathed. Now, when God got angered because he had been opposed, or he was being opposed by the beings he said to exist and had existed, he decided to demote Obel and promoted one of them called Olueny. Olueny is what they call Angel Michael. Olueny means war. And empowered Olueny to fight this being. And so the 7 beings were thrown down. That point they were thrown to Ondiri was called the land of darkness, Putmudo. And so as they were climbing down, they said the Lord's Prayer. Because they had rejected God's kingdom in heaven, they were now accepting it. They did not know where they were going. They were asking for God's kingdom to go with them wherever they were going. They did not know what to eat, so they were asking for food to eat that day. Because they saw God's action of presenting human being to be worshipped as temptation, they asked God never to put them to temptation again, to deliver them also from evil, because they were very evil. And so that's how the Lord's Prayer came, which black man is not supposed to recite, because that prayer belongs to the devil, those who oppose to God. When you are reciting that prayer, you are bringing evil to you. Until next time, stay put, and that is the reality of things. I will take you through next time to what other things happened. Goodbye.